You're welcome to another video. We are told to solve for the value of x in x raised to 2 minus x cubic is equals to 2. So this is a type of an exponential equation. It looks simpler. Of course, by inspection, you're gonna guess the value of x when I put it here and here, then the output gonna be 2. But I'm gonna take you through step by step up to the final solution where we're gonna find the value of x and other possible values of x which can satisfy our equation. So straight away, before we dive into the equation, if you're watching us for the first time, kindly remember to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and let us dive into the solution. So we've been given that x squared minus x cubic is equals to 2. So I'm going to bring these two on the other side so that I have x squared minus x cubic minus 2 is equals to 0. So well, at this stage, I'm going to rewrite 2 so that it has some powers of 2 and 3. I know that 2 can be written as 1 squared plus 1 cubic. Of course, when you square 1, you get 1. When you cube 1, you also get 1. So I'm going to write this here so that I have x squared minus x cubic minus, where there is 2, I'm going to replace 1 squared plus 1 cubic is equals to 0. The next step, I'm going to open this bracket using this negative so that I have x squared minus x cubic minus 1 squared minus 1 cubic is equals to 0. Next step, I'm going to collect whatever has x squared and 1 squared together. And then I'm going to take x cubic minus 1 cubic is equals to 0. Next step, I'm going to factorize. I know this is going to be written as x squared minus 1 squared, just like that, but don't worry. I know you know that 1 squared is of course 1, but we're just writing it so that it helps us in simplifying this typical problem. Here I'm going to factor out negative of 1, since there's a negative and there's a negative, so I'm going to get x cubic plus 1 cubic is equals to 0. Next, you need to recall that wherever you have a squared minus b squared, the expanded form of this is a minus b multiplied by a plus b. And also recall that when you have a cubic plus b cubic, the expanded form gonna be a plus b and then multiply by a squared minus ab plus, of course, b squared, like that. So I'm going to use this expansion here and here so that this one I'm going to change to x plus 1 multiplied by x, of course, x minus 1. You're able to see it there. Minus 1 in bracket, the expanded form of this gonna be x plus 1 multiplied by x squared minus x, of course, plus 1. When you square 1 squared is 1, is equals to 0. So guys, it goes without saying that I can factor x plus 1, x plus 1. I'm going to factor it out as x plus 1. And then I'm going to get, of course, this is x minus 1, minus 1. In bracket, I had already removed x plus 1 outside, so I'm going to get x squared minus, of course, x squared minus x plus 1 should give me 0. Then this is just a product of two factors. I have x plus 1 and I have the all of this. Then it goes without saying that whenever I multiply this or this, it's going to give me 0. And there we go, as x plus 1 should be equals to 0. And taking this on the other side, of course, gives us our first solution for the value of x as negative of 1. I'm going to call it x1. So guys, for x2, I'm going to take the all of this. It should also be equals to 0. Of course, I had x minus 1 minus, I want to open this bracket using negative of 1. So I'm going to get x squared, of course, plus x, and then minus 1 is equals to 0. I've just expanded using the negative. Then collecting like terms, I'm going to get x minus 1 minus x squared, of course, plus x minus 1 is equals to 0. Then that, of course, I'm going to get negative of x squared. I'll start with the power form. And then if you add x and x, you're going to get 2x, and then negative 1 and negative 1. Of course, I'm going to get negative of 2 is equals to 0. So you realize this is a quadratic equation. Yeah, quadratic equation. And then I'm going to solve it using the quadratic formula. And in quadratic formula, I know that the coefficient of x squared, a, is equals to negative 1. The coefficient of x, I'm going to call it b, is equals to 2. And then the constant term is equals to negative of 2. Like that. So that substituting in quadratic equation, I'm going to get negative of b, then plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 multiplied by a multiplied by c, and everything over 2 times a negative 1. That is quadratic equation. Solving this further, I'm going to get negative of 2 plus or minus, if you add this, you're going to get 4 minus, of course, 8 over negative 2, which of course can be simplified as x is equals to negative of 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 4 over negative 2. So guys, if you are still watching us, kindly remember to subscribe, hit the like button, share this video. You can watch also, I have a playlist, and also you can turn your notification on. So wherever I upload a new video, you'll be the first one to watch. Okay, let's continue. You can recall that if you have negative 4, this can be written as square root of negative 1 multiplied by the square root of 4, which when solving, I know that the square root of negative 1, I'm going to call it I, that is an imaginary number, multiplied by the square root of 4, that is 2. I'm going to get 2i. Using it here, now my x becomes negative of 2 plus or minus 2i all over negative 2. So well, my second value of x, I'm going to call it x2. I'll use a positive number here so that I get negative of 2 plus 2i all over negative 2. Well, this can be simplified as, now the second value of x2, I'm going to use, when you divide this, you'll get 1 plus, of course, I. That is an imaginary number or a complex number, I. So while the third value of x, I'm going to take the negative part, so that is negative 2 minus 2i over negative 2. Of course, when you divide this, and then you're going to get your value as, so dividing it further, I'm going to get, oh, of course, this one, it was not positive. When you divide negative and negative is positive, and negative and positive, it should be a negative number. So that means my x2 was 1 minus I, and my x3, I'm going to divide this, and when I divide it, I'm going to get 1, of course, plus I as the value of x3, which satisfies my equation. So I'm going to verify if indeed the value of x was negative 1. So substituting x is equals to negative 1 in x squared minus x cubic is equals to 2, we're going to see if it's going to give us positive 2. So that is negative 1 squared minus negative 1 cubic is equals to 2. When you square a negative number, of course, you're going to get a positive number. And when you square a negative, when you cube a negative number, you're going to get negative number. So that is negative 1 is equals to 2. And then you're able to see that 1 negative and negative is positive is equals to 2. And of course, 2 is equals to 2. We are just pretty sure that our first value of x1 satisfied the equation which we are asked. So we're going to end it at that particular point. And before you leave, guys, remember to subscribe, like, comment, turn your notification on. Until we meet again in the next video, goodbye for now.